Folks, welcome back. Figured we start a couple minutes early today to really start things off with a bang. First and foremost, if you are watching this live or if you're tuning in at some point today, Monday, May 6th, gonna be live tonight on OK J Love's channel with a few other creators. We're gonna be having the old Pokemon investing debate at 7 p.m. Central Time, it looks like. So if you are up for that, I hope to see you all there at that on his channel. It's going to be an OK J Love channel. So I did want to shout that out for anyone who is just catching this video today. Even if you're catching it afterwards and watch this playback tomorrow or the next day or whatever, it'll probably be a good one to check out. I'm just guessing. I'm sure fireworks are going to fly in that. No, it should be a good time overall. Figure we can just hang out, talk a little bit, and I'll get into the subject when we get a few people kind of making their way in here. It's going to be a spicy one. And this is one of those videos is why I know, I understand why people in the community don't like me is when I make videos like this. And it just is what it is. It is what it is. But when I see things and I can kind of see things before they happen, I want to use my platform to help protect as many people as I can by letting you know what's going to happen before it does happen in the way I see it. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just like to call these things out when I see them so that no one gets caught up in it. No one gets caught up in the euphoria, the madness, the newness, and all this stuff because people can get hurt. I mean, we've seen it. Well, I'm not going to get into it. Let's just chat a little bit. When we get a few viewers in here, I'll get into the subject. So who's in here today? Who is in here? And it's not clickbait. It's not that anyone's getting scammed right now. It's just things that could happen. We got Cornhusker saying, "What's up, Alex?" Machine Candy's in the house. Sergio, folks, having y'all a good day, fellas. Absolutely. Mondays are always good days. I don't know people that don't like Mondays. If you don't wake up on Monday ready to start a new week, you're doing something wrong. You need to make some changes. Your average player on my way home from the cabin. Nice listening while driving. Dude, that sounds like a good drive. That sounds like you had a good weekend. Happy to hear it, your average player, man. I always love to hear that. I always love love to hear people out enjoying their lives, doing fun things. It's good to hear. Got to get away from it all sometimes, right? Spend some time at the cabin. Early. Lucky people don't arrive early. I love it. We're all just lucky here. We're all just lucky. Big Potatoes, pumped to catch another stream. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. It's wild the amount of people who are so dang hostile. Like for people who scream about divides in the community, they sure create that by bashing creators. The attitude from the attitude from the is sad. I can't wait. Yeah, no one's gonna get bashed here today. No creators. Nothing like that. I once disliked you, Alex, until I realized I judged you off one video. Then I watched more and never miss a damn live, admitting being wrong. It's okay, people. Hey, man, I get it. Like, look, I'm no stranger. I understand that I rub people the wrong way. I understand my content style, the way I speak, the subjects I discuss, and being opinionated, having an opinion and not sitting the fence. It rubs people the wrong way. But I made up my mind a long time ago. You can love me, you can hate me, but one thing you're never going to be able to say about me, you're never going to say that I'm either dishonest or I sit the fence or whatever else. Like I am always going to give you the 100% whole truth, my feelings on it. I'll let you know when it's facts. I'll let you know when it's my opinion, and you can like it or hate it. But, I always wanted to make sure that I'm not going to be one of those people that's wishy-washy or changes their stance or, just all that type of stuff. So I get it. I get it, man. I appreciate you giving me another chance, though. And that's what's great about this community. You don't have to agree all the time. I don't want people to agree with everything I say. We need to have back and forth. That's what makes this market, makes this hobby fun, right? If we're all agreeing on everything, what fun is that? What fun is that? I mean, do you agree with your friends on everything? Do you agree with your wife or your husband on everything? No, of course not. Shouldn't agree with anyone on everything. As long as you agree on the important things, all the other stuff just kind of falls into place. That's how I see it. Still on the Alaskan cruise? Dude, you've been on that for like over a week. What is it, like a 10 or 14 day? Love it, man. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Got to get most of my sleep on the weekends, refresh for Monday. Absolutely, man. I definitely try to refresh on the weekends. All right, we got over 100 people in here. Let's get into this. Let's get into this craziness. All right. So I'm going to choose my words very carefully here. If you don't know, there is a new grading service that is making waves on the market. Okay. And this video is not going to be talking anything bad about the grading service, right? If you don't know, it's called tag grading. Okay. And I want to be very clear. This video is not against tag grading, right? I'll be fully transparent. My entire position in graded slabs, which I stick with PSA. I'm not trying to talk up PSA in this video. My exposure is probably 10% of my entire Pokemon portfolio is graded slabs. You guys know I'm a sealed product guy. So even if all my slabs went to zero, it wouldn't affect me. So I'm not speaking in terms of like trying to protect my PSA position. All right. So don't get that out of your heads. I'm not talking down tag grading. In fact, if you want to hear more about tag grading, I'm going to give a shout out to PokeSun. PokeSun, if you guys don't know her, she's been on the channel before, Lee. She's got a good Instagram following. She's always active in the Discords. And she's got a new podcast she started with a friend of hers. And it's called Poke S&P Podcast. So you can go subscribe to her. I'll even leave a link for you guys. But they do a good job kind of outlining what's going on with the tag grading in that video. What it is, guys, it's an AI grading, right? They're saying they're going to be more accurate. They can grade the card, 100 times, and it's going to get the same grade every time. So it's a good new technology, and it's definitely going to make waves in the market, especially with like PSA and all these other companies doing human grading and having issues with that. All right, that's not the scam. That's not the issue, right? The issue is, I'm going to plug my merch, the Cabal. We got to talk about the Cabal. Beware the Cabal. Guys, nostalgianomics.com. I got merch up. We got the Cabal merch. You guys know the folks. We got the Cabal in and knocking out the Cabal. So if you guys want to check that out, I always love, plugging my merch once in a while. But the Cabal is the issue. If you haven't known, a lot of the high-end vintage slabs, high-end, mid-era slabs, high-end promos, trophy cards, they've been sort of stagnant the last 3 to 4 years. They're starting to see some uptrend now, but a lot of those people were very against modern investing, very against modern sealed, modern slabs. They don't believe in it. And they haven't seen much appreciation on their items, right? And back, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, a lot of the biggest voices in the hobby were the people who held those positions. And, they pushed the older, rarer, minter, better. They pushed that stuff and were able to pump it. They've kind of lost, in my opinion, lost control over the market, lost influence. And not as many people are listening to that. They're collecting what they like. They're moving towards the modern stuff, the stuff they actually enjoy. It's more affordable. It's seeing better growth. The same way we saw with CGC, right? You mark my words, okay? Just mark my words when the time comes. You are going to start seeing more and more rhetoric surrounding tag grading. And again, it's not against the grading service. It's a great service, right? And they may establish themselves and be good. The issue is with the beginning here. You will start seeing the people who own these high-end slabs. A lot of them will start to cross-grade them with tag. The same way people threw their PSA 9s or something into CGC 10 plastic and then upsold them on the market and acted like, oh yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. You got to do CGC. They're better. They're more accurate. They got better, more clear cases. You got to buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And they'll cram it down your throats in order to just switch their card from one plastic to another. They're going to pump it up and then dump it on the market to make a margin because it's not moving otherwise. You're going to see the same exact thing happen with tag grading. You are going to see these people with the high-end stuff. They're going to cross-grade it in tag plastic. You will start hearing tons of content creators who all either have exposure to these high-end cards or have exposure to tag grading. They're going to start putting their cards in tag grading plastic, and they're going to start really pumping it and talking very favorably of it and talking about how you have to have this. This is a more true grade. These are worth more. Who knows? They may even try to say they're worth as much as black labels. Who knows what's going to happen yet? But they're going to really start pumping these items up, right? And they'll start to get a following behind it. They'll start to get more and more people believe. You may even see some really nefarious things happen. You may see fake sales on eBay. And what I mean is you might, the way the whole cabal works, they operate behind closed doors. They have all their Discord groups. They're closed. They're closed chats and, their secret stuff that no one else is in. And it's back and forth to give the impression of sales, right? To give the illusion of value. It's as simple as me saying, hey, I'm going to buy your card for $5,000 on eBay. All right. Ship it to me. Make sure it's all a legal transaction. It all gets recorded. And then I'll just ship it back to you. You can Venmo me the $5,000 back or whatever. And we'll just keep doing this a few times to set a market price. And then when people go and look at the recent sales, they're going to say, oh, wow, this is selling for more than a PSA 10. This is selling for as much as a Beckett Black Label or a CGC Pristine, whatever it may be. And then it really starts getting the ball rolling and people start believing it. And when people start believing it, then these people who have these positions in tag, they'll start dumping them on the market, making their margins that they have not been making on those cards for the last 3 to 4 years because all the attention moved to modern. And I promise you guys, just watch and see. It will happen. You will see this shift. You'll see the rhetoric shift. You'll see people start to talk more favorably of it. You'll start to see sales happen. You'll start to see people really start talking. It'll be on every YouTube video. You'll see tag slabs with arrows pointing up. And just ask yourself when you see these people who are making the videos, ask them, say, what's your complete exposure to tag grading? How much value do you have in those slabs? How many of those slabs do you own? How many of your cards did you cross grade into tag? That will tell you their motives. Like I said, I've got less than 10% of my overall net worth in Pokemon in PSA graded slabs. They can go to 0. It doesn't affect me. If all my sealed went to 0, I've been very clear. That will financially hurt me. It wouldn't bankrupt me. It would set me back in life, though. It would financially hurt me if all my Pokemon sealed went to 0. If my little positions I have in PSA slabs go to 0, it doesn't hurt me at all. So I have no reason to try to like keep up PSA or compare it to tag. I don't care about that. What I'm telling you is be careful getting caught up in the euphoria behind this because you will 100% having people jump on this bandwagon and it'll be the same people as always, the same groups that, they all talk about it. They make these plays, they make these decisions and they get pumped up together and they all jump on the bandwagons and they pump. And then when they're pumped up to where they want them to, you'll start seeing them sell mass amounts of tag slabs and they're going to realize tons and tons of gains. And then who knows? Maybe the market does stabilize and people do end up respecting it more. You don't know how it's going to end because you don't know which sales were real, which sales weren't real, what was going on behind the scenes. And it's very scary when you're navigating these unregulated markets, especially when new things like this happen. Like I said, tag can be a legit service. It has nothing to do with tag. It has to do with how these people, I call them the cabal, will use tag to promote their agenda, right? To use it to be able to realize gains off the collecting community. And it's dark stuff we're talking about, but this is what will happen. It will come to pass. Mark my words, pay attention, watch very closely over the next months to come. A lot of what I'm saying, I would expect to all come to fruition in the time to come. So that's it. Short and sweet, guys. That's what this whole video is about. I call it a scam because I think it, in my opinion, it seems like scamming people out of their money, especially if you get into like I said, the fake sales and the pumping things, even though there might be issues with it or whatever it may be. Now, again, tag may end up being one of the best grading services ever. It may end up being the top dog, but you don't know. And this beginning time when the pop reports are so low, when so few cards are in there and people can really use it to manipulate, because that's what people with those cards like to do. It's all about the supply, right? There's only this many graded tag 10s. You got to get them. There's hundreds of PSA 10s. There's tons of CGC 10s, but this is the most scarce 10 out there. Don't worry. I put it from a PSA 10 into this slab. Don't worry about the fact that I just changed the plastic. You got to have this 10. Oh, by the way, pay me double for it. Yes, sir. Guys, just be careful. That's all I got to say. Now let's get into the chat. I told you this is going to be one of those videos I make where I really get hated on. And this is why a lot of the community hates me, is because I call out these types of things before they happen. I'm sure there's plans going on behind the scenes right now of people already cracking their slabs, already sending them in a tag. They already have these ideas in mind. And they don't like when you call them out on their BS. And so I get it. I'll take the heat. What do we got going on now? Let's see. What are you guys going to say about this? I'm anxious to hear everyone's responses in the chat. I'm anxious to hear. We're living in a black swan event. I've been hearing that for like 10 years now. Enjoy the money making with something you love. Say it with me. It's okay to make money. It's okay to make money. Everyone makes a big stonk about modern pop reports. Take Murmurion, for example. What percentage of cards do you think are graded versus raw copies that exist? No real way to know, but a fun thought exercise. Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. Pop reports. Pop reports are one metric, right? They are literally one tool to use when trying to assess the value of a card and the future investment potential of a card. All right. People see things rise in value and their immediately knee-jerk reaction is, it's overvalued, I got to dump, okay? What if we backtrack and say, what if these alt arts were severely undervalued for a long period of time? What if you look at other hobbies and the top hits in those hobbies are all hundreds, thousands of dollars, multiple thousands of dollars for their top hits, right? And then we look at the fact that, okay, all these sword and shield sets are going out of print. They're becoming more and more expensive. There's going to be less and less and less of these boxes opened every year because as things get more expensive, it's like Sun and Moon and XY. How often do you see those boxes open? Very few and far between. And so not only will you have less and less of this stuff opened, these cards are like 500 to 800 in per pack. So like 1 out of 5 to 800. That's how hard these cards are to hit. Meaning, with less and less being opened, you're going to see very few of these mint copies actually be open and make their way to the market in the future. So basically, pretty much what we have is the majority of what we're always going to have. All right, now stick with me. We have a growing hobby. We have generations that are aging into working age, the time when they have their own money and they want to start putting their money to work. We have my generation, the generations older than me, all becoming more successful in their careers, making more money, having more disposable income, continuing to put more money in the hobby. It's already shown that a lot of people who collect this stuff, they don't ever take money out of the hobby. They just roll it into new things. The money stays in the hobby most of the time. And it just builds and builds and builds. And we constantly have more money pouring in. And with all that being said, it makes sense for prices to rise and things not to be dumped. Also, you have to ask yourself, am I looking at this as a flipper mentality? Am I looking at this as an investor mentality? Or am I looking at this non-biased as a collector mentality? As a flipper or investor, you see price go up, you think, I made money, I need to sell. A lot of collectors don't think that way. They think, I'm lucky I got that card before it rose. I'm happy to have this card in my collection. And how we know that is, guys, with the rise in alt arts lately, Moonbryon, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, right? Garatina, $900, right? Gengar. With these rises, we've seen like 100% plus gains on these cards, right? So with these cards rising that much, if there's that, we already know how many are out there. There's tens of thousands out there. Why are we not seeing influxes of them hit the market? Why are we not seeing the market be flooded with them about everyone taking easy money if it's all about the money? Ask yourself that. The reason is people are holding them because they're actual collectors. They're actual collection pieces. I know people don't like to admit this. Pokemon is a very rich hobby, all right? Almost everyone I've came in contact with and make good money. They have they're stable. They have good net worth. They're financially responsible. You always hear the stories about people maxing out credit cards and everyone's broke and all this stuff. Everyone I've met in this hobby is not like that, okay? And so you have to actually ask yourself, maybe all these people can just afford to hold these things that they actually want to collect. And although the price goes up, so technically the market cap has risen, it doesn't matter because those people still paid $300, $400, $500 for the card. It doesn't matter if they're worth $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 now. All they have is $300, $400, $500 in the card. And if the majority of those people just are not going to sell, well, then, I mean, the market cap may be that way, but it doesn't mean that much money actually is flowing into those cards. So it's kind of like a wishy-washy. It's kind of an area there where you don't really know. But I think if you look at things from different points of view, other than, oh, we made money, let's flip it, or, oh, things are up in value, I need to flip it as an investment. If you actually look at things from the collector perspective, this is the most popular era ever. These are some of the most hardest cards to hit in the entire hobby, even more than gold stars, right? These are very, very difficult to hit. I know there's more of them out there because there's more printed now, but there's far more people in the hobby now. And so, look, I don't have the numbers. Now, again, this is not a fact. This is an opinion. I would argue the ratio of cards in existence on these alt arts to the amount of people in the hobby that actually want them is probably still lower than the ratio of some of the old cards in the hobby to in the pop reports compared to the ratio of people that actually want them. Meaning, if there's 100 pop report, but only 10,000 people want it, that's not the same as 10,000 pop report, but 10 million people want it, right? It's like, so I think we're just getting caught up in the pop reports when we're not looking at any other things. And if you live by the pop report, you're going to die by the pop report and you're going to miss out on a lot of plays because you just don't understand that that's not the end all be all in this hobby. So that's my thoughts on that. Perfect. This is great. Might not respect everyone's opinion, but have to respect everyone's right to have an opinion. 100%. 100%. Let's see. Where did I want to get into people where they started pushing back on what I said. Yo, Alex, so glad you were talking about tag grading. I just discovered them and think they are a slab that looks pretty awesome, and it's based in Europe, where I'm from. Yeah, I can go ahead and show you guys a slab. I didn't show that. Let me show it up. All right, so here's the actual slab, guys. Right here. This is the actual tag slab. Just a regular plastic. It's got a black label. It's kind of plain. Like it's nothing fancy. It's pretty plain. But like I said, it's AI grading. It's supposed to be more accurate. And so that's kind of what it has going for them. The high-end Lorcana people are starting to convince each other to cross-grade a tag. It's pretty wild to see so many people jumping on the tag. But yeah, it's because it's an easy play, right? It's the same reason people they were really pumping CGC. Go back and look. So I'm sure some of your favorite content creators that you still enjoy, they were the ones pumping CGC and trying to tell everyone how great CGC was, and you saw how that turned out. And they're going to do the same exact thing with tag. It's because it's an easy way for them to manipulate the market and make easy money, right? And guys, again, it has nothing to do with tag grading itself. It has nothing to do with them being a good company, a good grading service, how they're going to do in the future. It's people taking advantage of inefficiencies in markets and using their influence and exposure to be able to move those markets and then make profits off the people who don't understand what's going on. So that's why I wanted to use my platform today to explain it, so people that watch my channel understand what's going on and don't get caught up in it. Pokey Knowledge has Nat Turner on right now, president of PSA company, I believe. Wonder if he will ask questions about AI grading. So Pokey Knowledge, I'm interested. I gotta pull it up because I just have to see one thing. I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Yeah, 62 people total watching that. That's how many people care about the questions that PK has for the CEO of PSA. That pretty much says it all. That says it all right there, guys. Oh man, it's funny. It's strange how Nat Turner wants to go on that channel, but hey, he built the relationship. Good for him. He built the relationship, so he got the PSA CEO. Now he just has to find a way to get people to want to watch. So let's see. So free market, buddy. Why not go on when a ton of collectors are live? Durr. Yeah, I get it. Lots of contradictions and groupthink in this hobby, not specifically UNN, but in an overall aspect. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just natural. Like people want to, people jump on bandwagons, especially, there's a very real, I don't know how to explain it. It's like this thing in this hobby where people hold certain people in like very high regards because of the size of their business or their history in the hobby or whatever it may be. And anything they say, they like see as gold, and they like 100% rush to the bandwagon of what they say. And, it's never going to end. That's what influencers are. It's why brands advertise with influencers and push products and services. And it's why it works, is because, people, they attach themselves to what people say. And that's why I always tell people to do their own research and make up their own minds and don't just go off what I say. I'm happy to bring the facts, the statistics, the numbers and things to your attention. But then I always urge people to go do research for yourself and make your own decisions. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they won't do that. They'll see creators and what they say. They'll see what they're doing and they'll say, oh, they're doing it, I better do it too. And that's just kind of where we are in this hobby. And it's not just this hobby, it's other places too. It happens in the stock trading world. Everyone just, finds a guru and all copies the guru's plays. It just is what it is. It's the world. It may make sense to explain why tag is a big deal. Can you discuss the point scale and its potential and make grading services adapt? I think that needs to be discussed. Yeah. So what tag's thing is they're going to have a point scale and they're going to let you know exactly why each grade got what it got, and have basically their whole thing is they believe that your card will grade the same exact grade every time it's put through their system, where you won't have the issue of having to crack your slab, send it back to PSA. Oh, I got a 10 this time, I got a 9 the first time. But I haven't, Ryan, like I said, I would push people to Pokey Sun's video. So Pokey SMP podcast, guys. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and link it. Here's the video right here. I'm gonna link Pokey Sun. So here it is. I just shared it in the chat. That's PokeSun's video. I would just urge you. They're going to give a much more. I'm going to even pin it. I'm going to pin it to the chat. They're going to give a lot more detailed, in-depth look at tag than I am. So that's what I would push people to go watch is their video. You guys are having fun in the chat today, I see. All right, as a collector, I can definitely afford to hold onto my collection and have no desire to sell. Yeah, and I think that goes for a lot of people. I think the mindset in this community is that everyone's broke or something, right? Like no one's got any money. People are going to be forced to sell. If things go up, they have to dump their collection. I think there's a lot of people who have a lot more money in this hobby and can afford to hang on to their positions a lot more than people think. And it's just always going to be a thing that there's going to be this constant, different thought process. One side is going to think everyone's broke living on credit card debt. The other side is going to think the average income in this hobby is greater than average. And, you're just going to kind of see how things play out. But I'm definitely on the side of just from people I've come in contact with. I said it in the Discord this morning or just a little bit ago. I'm like, I actually feel like I'm always the person who's doing worse. Like I'm always doing worse than most everyone I talk to. Like most everyone I talk to in this hobby is better off than me. Like they make more, they have a higher net worth, their collection's bigger. It's wild. It's wild. Like the amount of wealth in this hobby. If it's AI graded, though, it's going to bring value. You can't be more accurate than AI. No, I agree. Like I said, this is not attacking. I was very clear about this. I think tag can be a good service. I'm just saying, watch out for people trying to manipulate the market and dump the slabs at very high multiples out of the gate. I would let the market really, I would let the market really kind of like absorb and trade, right? Trade the slabs for a while to really see what the majority of people want to value. Because here's the thing, guys, you can have a better mousetrap, but if the public perception doesn't agree and you can't get enough people on board and they just want to stay with PSA for X, Y, or Z reason, or want to believe in Beckett black slabs for X, Y, or Z reason, it doesn't matter, right? And so the one part of the scenario, right, you have to build a better mousetrap, which they've done with AI. But the other part is getting enough influence to convince the majority of collectors that this is better. This grade's better. It's more accurate. This is what you should be collecting. This is what you should value more. Those are two very different things, right? And I'm sure they might end up using influencers to sponsor and things like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. CGC has tried very hard to do that. They sponsored influencers. They brought people in and made YouTube videos of them getting grades. And, they've put a lot of money behind trying to, take down PSA or take market share. And they've done a good job, but I don't think they've done a good job of establishing themselves as a superior grade, right? As a superior grading service where maybe tag can do that. And they can also get public perception to change. So it's too early to tell. All I'm saying is be very careful of the people pushing it. And always ask them, what's your exposure? How many tag slabs do you have? How much value do you have in tag slabs? How many are you trying to sell? Always ask those questions, and then their true motives will always be revealed. Late to the party, but tag grading for AI grading service is really lenient with its grades. I'm seeing what would be PSA 8s and 9s get tag 10s. It's very comparable to CGC's newer grading scale. And yeah, that's the issue, right? They're going to have tweaks to be made. It's going to be just like PSA was, right? People don't like the early PSA grades, the early PSA, 1, 2 million certs. They want to get the 4 and the 6 and the 8 million cert numbers, or 80 million, whatever it is, because they don't trust the early certification numbers because they feel those are weaker 9s or weaker 10s. And I'm sure tag's going to go through the same growing pains that PSA did, which is even more reason not to buy out of the gate with these people trying to pump it, because they're probably just, 9s or weak 10s they threw in tag slabs. They knew they could get 10s, and then they're going to try and pump it as this is the superior grade. You should pay a premium for this. Whatever happens, if there's fake sales that happen, it's worrisome. It's where I like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I just wanted to be the person to put this out there so anyone following my channel doesn't get taken advantage of. That's all this is. That's all it is, right? 33rd degree Freemason. I don't know anything about Pokemon. I was in stocks and sports cards. I started watching your videos 2 years ago. It's been the best investments I've ever invested in. You made me a lot of money, bro. Aslam, man, I love hearing stuff like that. That honestly, things like this, dude, that is what makes me continue to make videos when I hear stuff like that. So happy to hear. Congrats on the success. Hope you keep enjoying the hobby and being successful in the hobby, man. Really happy to hear that. Appreciate you. Nat Turner and Slabs, we're all about sealed investing here, people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Ace Grading, it's another grading company. They didn't really ever take off the way they did. I mean, at least here in the States. These slabs or labels are the best quality I've seen. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, guys. This is one thing you have to understand is having a better slab or a more attractive slab or label or a better grading process. That is a very small portion of this whole pie, right? The main thing is getting public perception to change. And that is the hardest thing to do. Getting all of the collectors who have millions and millions of dollars and thousands of slabs in PSA or whatever else to all change their minds and turn their backs and say, you know what? Yeah, this is the way to go. We're all going to go this way. That's very hard, right? Markets don't move like that. That's why you see giant companies get overtaken and you see innovative companies, pop up and actually knock off Goliath sometimes, like we saw with like Blockbuster getting overtaken by Netflix. Is they're more agile, they can be more nimble, they can innovate, whereas these giant conglomerates, they can't move really fast, right? They have to make sure all their ducks are in a row and how's this going to affect. And that's what I see with this collector community. It's very hard to just change the minds of every collector worldwide to say, oh, no PSA anymore. It's all going to tag or it's all going to ace. It's a very hard hurdle to get over. A transparent grading company who tells you exactly why they graded each aspect of your card the way they did. Blasphemy. Again, it's nothing about tag. Hey, Dr. Applesauce 2 is in the house. What is up, man? When are we going to have you on one of these live streams? We got to get you on one of these, dude. Does this grading service have a crypto token? Not sure. Not sure about that. Not sure. You have all PSA 10 evolutions now? No. I've got the Alakazam back here. I stuck in here. The PSA 9 first edition base set Alakazam. I'm still looking for the Flareon V. At this point, I'm going to have to grade it myself. It's selling for like $400 in a PSA 10 now, which I'm not going to pay that. So I might have to grade it myself, or if I can find someone who wants to make a decent trade, which I am in some negotiations right now, I might be able to make a trade for it. That is the one evolution I am missing in a PSA 10. I know, sad. Very sad. I'm also kind of upset they didn't do an Eevee. Why didn't they do an Eevee V or VMAX? Like they did, but not like an alt art, awesome art version. It's just like their plain Jane, regular full art VMAX. So a little upset about that. Sup, Alex? Watching from 1:40 a.m. in Malaysia. I love it. I love it. Oh, is that the fake? Is that a fake Dr. Applesauce? Oh, is it really? Oh, that sucks, man. I know he's been in the stream before. The real Dr. Applesauce. Yeah, the hardest part about investing is not opening. See, that's the best part about investing in sealed, is if it's that hard for people not to open their product, a lot of people are opening it. That's just better for your sealed going forward. Yes, Nomics, the most legit guy in Pokemon space. Thanks for all the videos, man. I bought every alt art in a 10 back when you said, have almost doubled since. Same here, dude. I love it, Ross. Congrats on the play, man. I don't know if you're taking profits yet, but I mean, they could continue. I think they're going to personally have a little more ways to go, but anyone taking profits right now, I don't disagree with that either. It's been a great play. Happy you got in on it, man. Happy you got in on it. I thought you guys were going live with J Love. Yeah, tonight. I mentioned at the beginning of the video tonight on J Love's channel. It is, I have a link on my Instagram. He's got his video out already. It's going to be me, him, Pokey Office, a newer creator. I forget his name. Oh, Possum Bud's going to be on there. That's going to be spicy. Not pulling any punches with that guy. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So I really don't even know what we're going to talk about. Like it's like a Pokemon investing debate. I don't know why Pokemon investing is even a debate in 2024 anymore. I feel like the only thing people have against Pokemon investing is the future. Ooh, the future is gonna. It's like I could use that same argument against anything, right? The U.S. dollar is gonna collapse in the future. Buy gold. Wherever you own a house, that's gonna get all impoverished. You're gonna have all kind of bums move in. The property values are gonna go to crap. Sell your real estate, right? It's like you could play this game forever. It's like just talking about the future is gonna crash your Pokemon investments. It really doesn't mean anything. It's just like, okay, we can all be doomsday preppers and live in holes and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like all the historical data backs up what I've said. We still have people being very successful in this hobby. I think the only thing people have against investing is they don't like it. It's their feelings. They personally don't like it. They think it should be a collector's only hobby. Everything should be affordable, like game pieces, right? Everything should be affordable. The kids should be able to get the cards and things shouldn't rise in value. I really don't know. So I'm interested. I'm not going to be as outspoken as you might think in this live. I don't think. I just want to sit back and listen. I want to hear out a lot of these different views because I don't understand it. I don't understand how these people come to the conclusion that Pokemon is not investable in 2024. I've been in this hobby 9 years, right? I've been having this debate for years. And back then I understood it, right? But nowadays it's like, at what point is it proven enough for you guys? Like, at what point can you not say, okay, after 2 to 3 years, I can buy a sealed booster box and it's going to continue to rise because it's going to have less and less supply and less on the market? Like, is it that hard? Really? Really? You would literally have to throw tens of thousands of dollars at each of the top 5 Pokemon creators to make any. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, to be able to make people move away from PSA. I agree. Like, and here's the thing, like I've said it before, I said it earlier in this video, like I have like, I guess it depends on what a lot of money is, right? But compared to like my entire Pokemon position, I have like less than 10% of my total Pokemon position in PSA slabs. And so I guess I don't really have a dog in the fight. I don't have a reason to like talk down tag and talk up PSA. I have a reason to talk up sealed product. You can tell me that. Like, you can say I'm a shill for sealed product because I do have a lot of money in sealed product. But I'm just telling you guys, it's a very clear road forward where I see a lot of manipulation about to happen. Because you got to think about it for yourself. If you've been holding a lot of these high-end trophy cards, vintage, mid-era stuff, and you spend a lot of money on it, it's been stagnant for years now, right after the boom. You're thinking to yourself, how can I make these things go up in value? The attention has left, right? All the attention has moved to modern. And how can I bring back that attention? And how can I make these things rise in value if they're stagnant? Oh, here's an idea. I'll put it in a new piece of plastic. Me and all my friends and content creators and people in the community will get on the online forums, the Discords, the YouTube channels. We'll all talk up how great this new grading service is, how much more trusted it is, how much better the slabs are, how much better the company is, how these are much more real grades and how they should be valued higher than PSA. Again, maybe they'll do some nefarious things like do some fake eBay sales like, hey, Tom, I'll sell you this card at $5,000, all right? You will complete the sale. I'll ship it to you. Once you get the card, just send it back to me and I'll Venmo you back the $5,000. But then we'll have all these sales on eBay and they'll be higher than PSA 10 sales or CGC Pristine sales or Beckett Black Label sales. And then everyone will have to believe it. And then once people start getting on and believing it, well, now all of us who have these tag positions early, we'll start dumping them on the market. And that's how we'll make money off of these slabs that have been sitting stagnant for years and years now. Does that not seem like a realistic scenario to you? Not saying it's going to happen, but just pay attention and always ask every person talking up tag, say, how much money do you have in tag slabs? What is your total exposure? And are you selling? Ask those questions. I don't think they're going to have a fun time answering those questions. And this is why I'm hated. This is it. You're watching it live right here. This is why this community hates me. Oh, man. Tag seems like a very nice service. Yeah, I've seen the shipping procedure. It seems high quality. I'd be interested in trying to hold personal cards. Don't care what influencers pump. 100%, Charles. That's a very logical way to go about it. Absolutely. So you are warning people may use tag and sell tag graded cards. No, I'm worried that people are going to manipulate the value, the perceived value of those slabs. That's what I'm worried about. I'm new to the hobby and buying a lot of different cards, sealed product. People need to just buy what they like. You would think so, right? You would think so. I know we had our disagreements on state of the art alt arts in the Discord. Oh, that's all good, dude. But I'm full on board with sealed, and you've really helped me. I'm 30% up overall. It's awesome here, dude. That's what the Discord's for, right? You know, people always get on me like, Alex, you banned this guy from the Discord, dude. I've said it before. The Discord is for disagreements. It's for everyone to get there and spew and give their opinions and go back and forth. The only time I ever get involved is when people start attacking anyone personally, right? I've had literal death threats from people. And it's when people go after not just me, but other people personally. They start like, you know, trying to like chase them around and go after them on different platforms. I ban those people. Big deal. But no, man, you're always open to come in and shoot me down in my thoughts and give your opinions and show your data and facts that you have to refute mine. That's what it's all about, dude. I'm happy you're in there. The people with the most money invested in Slabs have vested interest to keep PSA on top. 100%. All the big voices will continue to push PSA because all of them sell those cards. That's a possibility too. That is a possibility as well. I bought a CGC 10 a couple years ago for an inflated price. Now it's worth less than a PSA 10. Wish I knew before Live and Learn. Yeah, and I made videos. You can go back on my lives. I made videos. I even nicknamed it, you know, CGC. I named it the Cabal Grading Service. It was good. It was good. Yeah, I said the same thing was happening then. You saw a group of content creators, a group of people in the community who all moved in large positions in CGC very early. A lot of them even had insider deals where they were getting very cheap graded slabs from CGC. They had insider deals, and they were all talking very favorably of it, even though, you know, maybe they did or didn't know that it wasn't as, you know, it wasn't as accurate as PSA, or it wasn't going to be accepted or whatever. But, you know, they made their plays, they made their money, and they're all happy. And the people who got stuck with them aren't. And people move on. People have very short-term memory. They forget all the people that pumped it, that they sold out to and hurt. So it is what it is. Only found you a month ago. Great content. Hey, I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. Hey, Alex, glad to be here. How about no one cares about the company or grade? Cards in my magnet case are just as nice, cheaper, and display just as well. I just invest. Yeah, so here's my only thing why I like putting my cards in slabs. It just makes the sale easier. I don't like to go back and forth with people on condition, and I don't like to send 100 different pictures of every angle and people saying, well, that's near mint. That's light play. That looks like a 7 or 8. That looks like a 9 or a 10. I just say, hey, look, this is what this grading company gave it. Like it or hate it, like that's what I'm selling it as. I don't care if you think it's a weak 9 or a strong 9, weak 10, strong 10. It got the number. I'm selling it as a 10. If you don't want it, someone else will take it. That's the only reason I like it. And also it authenticates it. I know there's always like one here and there where PSA or CGC messes up and they authenticated a fake card, but very rare. So I like that they authenticate it. I like that they put it in a case where it can't be damaged or anything anymore. And I like the fact it makes the selling or trading transaction easier than raw. So, you know, there's benefits to it, but I understand your point of view too. I get it. Oh, man. What's up, Pokemart TCG? All is well. I'm down, man. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 5. Dude, awesome. I'll reach out, dude. Can't wait. It baffles me that people think the value of graded cards comes from accuracy. Jesus Christ himself could come down from heaven and grade a card and people would still pay more for PSA. Oh, PokeNE, bringing the spice. I love it. It's perception, not perfection. Yeah, dude, like you guys got to realize this. You have to realize the perception of the market trumps all the accuracy and AI grading and how fancy the case or the label looks, right? Rudy's got his nice fancy metal labels and people aren't using his company. So, you know, just remember that stuff, guys. Remember it. Again, I have no dog in the fight, right? I'll lose every PSA slab I have tomorrow. And sure, it hurts. It hurts like you go into the casino and you lost money. But it's like, it wouldn't like financially like, you know, really make an impact on me. And so I don't have a dog in the fight per se. I'm just letting you know this is how markets work, right? They don't change on a dime where every collector across the world all of a sudden we all agree and everyone's using the tab now. It just doesn't happen that way. As an evolution collector, thank you for that. They dropped the ball not doing an EV alt art. I know, Jess. They always do something like that. There's always something they leave out. Like, or what about like putting Espeon VMAX in Fusion Strike? Like, why? You couldn't have like threw I don't know, Dragonite in Fusion Strike and threw the Espeon VMAX and Evolving Skies. Like, they do weird stuff. They do weird stuff. You should check your email. Mr. Beanie, I did see that email. I started to read through it. I am going to look into that before the live stream tonight. I appreciate all the info, man. Thank you. Bring Opossum Bud on. Me and the possum, we don't get along too well, I don't think. I don't know. I mean, he's always welcome on the channel. No idea if he would want to come on or not. I don't think he's too fond of me. Oh, this is not true. Blake, Possum is great because he calls out people who do extremely immoral things like buying stolen product. Like Dr. Applesauce is in the chat. I mean, he's one of the nicest dudes in the hobby. He calls him out for whatever. Like I have a friend of mine, I'm not going to mention who, but he actually knew one of the people that Opossum or Rattle called out, and the dude's never done anything wrong. It was a misunderstanding, but he didn't take down the video. He doesn't like create like a what do they call it when a newspaper like. What do they call that when they take back the story? A retraction, like that's what. So yeah, like they have videos where they do actually catch people and actual scammers, actual thieves, but then they mix it in and it gets blurry when they try to go after people for certain things when they don't have all the facts. And that's my issue. Like that's my issue with going and then just like all the vulgar talk and really like attacking people personally. Like, dude, there's no room for that in the hobby. Like, I mean, here. I'll meet you in person. Like, let's meet up in person. You can say whatever you want to my face. If you're not going to say it straight to my face, then don't say it on the internet. But, the way we are these days, everyone just wants to be keyboard warriors and get on the camera and spew nonsense. And that's why we get those kind of channels. Are you still sitting on cases of Sword and Shield alt arts? Cases? Oh, alt art sets? Yeah, absolutely. I've got case of booster boxes from every set battle styles onwards. Yeah, absolutely. So, I've purchased sets. Well, I got Fusion Strike. When Fusion Strike got restocked at Pokemon Center, I did get in on cases of that. But I've pretty much stopped buying. I may pick up some more Silver Tempest. I did just pick up Battle Styles a couple weeks ago. They had it on Hills Wholesale Gaming for $100 a box. It just seemed like a good deal for like in the time we're in. I feel like it's gonna have a good pump for it. Recently, I think it's probably gonna get to like in the maybe 150 to maybe high hundreds here soon. And so it felt like a good buy. But I'm no longer like buying much more right now at these prices, but I'm also not selling. So I'm kind of in the middle. Like I don't feel like we're anywhere near where these sets are going to hit in the near future. But I don't really feel like buying in at $200 or $250 a box because I feel like there's other plays out there where I can do better. And so, no, Ross, I still have them, not selling any, if that makes sense. Sealed is always the way to go if you want to save things for the future. Always raw and graded is too easy to manipulate one way or another. Yeah, so raw and graded is going to be like, if you're a risk taker, you can make a lot more money faster, but you can also lose a lot more money faster. So you really got to know what you're doing. You got to have a strong stomach. You got to have a good, you have to have a good risk tolerance. But other than that, I mean, buying into booster boxes at $80 or $90, such a low downside risk, such a huge upside potential. All you're really fighting against is time itself. And it's kind of the safest way in this hobby, like as safe as it can be. In 2017, I invested $2K into Pokemon. My family thought I was crazy. Oh, here we go. But I knew it would grow, and it did. Those $2K are now way bigger. I just wished I bought more. Yeah, the story of everyone's life. Everyone wishes they would have bought more. I think every single person has said that at some point in this hobby. PSA controls 90% of the graded market. Their employees grading the cards are on minimum wage, grading thousands of cards a day. Yeah, I know. Pay for the card, not the grading company. 100%. 100% PokeJ. I agree with that. Followed your advice, Alex. I just bought 2 booster boxes of Silver Tempest and a PSA 10 Miriam. Interesting on the PSA 10 Miriam play. Well, I'm interested to see how that works out in the near future. Okay. When someone says a particular sealed product will go up in price because of playable cards, I question their investment horizon. Yeah, you know, here's the thing, guys. Like, take everything with a grain of sand. Like, I do the same thing. It's YouTube. We all got to play the YouTube game. I do the same thing where I put like a sets on a thumbnail or cards on a thumbnail, and I'll make a video about why certain cards or certain products are good investments. And that can be seen as like trying to pump them or manipulate them, or you know, one of these investment guys, you know, trying to, you know, make money in the hobby. But it's for content sakes. I'm pretty clear all the time that, look, if you go after the better sets that are more sought after with the higher value hits, and you can get in at good entry points and you can hold for a good amount of time, 3, 5, 7 years, it's a very low risk hobby at that point. What people like to do from there, they like to get a little more adventurous. They like to start going into grading themselves or buying slabs, buying raw, trying to make plays there, moving into different products, moving into different languages, moving into different TCGs. And I get all that. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, to come at, I mean, you can, you know, definitely come at me for a lot of those types of videos and things I've said. I get it. I get the criticism. I don't run from it. But to criticize sealed booster box investing with a long enough time horizon with entry points in the low, you know, 80s and 90s, I don't understand the hate. I don't understand the disdain. I don't understand the disbelief. It's very strange. You know, I've said it before. It's like, if you're a business in this hobby and you buy product from Pokemon or a distributor or another seller and you flip it and you make money, you're good, right? You're a good guy. If you collect in this hobby, you're a good guy. If you play the game, you're a good guy. If you just make random content on YouTube, you're a good guy. If you do anything like that, you're good. But as soon as you cross that line and you say that I word, right? That investor word, you're Satan, you're the devil. Get out of here. We hate you. Get out of our hobby. It's very strange, man. It's a very strange hobby we're in. I've been in real estate my entire life. It's a career. I would love to sit on that live stream and show portfolio versus Pokemon the last 4 to 5 years. Oh, man, I would love that. I would love that. I just posted in the Discord the other day, my collection is up 40% since investing based on Alex's videos. God, guys, I don't want to take too much credit because, look, markets fluctuate, okay? There will be ebbs and flows, right? There will be downturns. So make sure you come back and tell me when you're down on things too, so my head doesn't get too big, because those times will come. They will come, unfortunately. That's why I said, like, right now, I understand people taking profits on alt arts, right? I understand people who took profits on Evolving Skies. I understand people taking profits on Fusion Strike, whatever it may be. I get it, right? Just because I'm not, just because I have a longer time horizon or I see a different future, I want to hold longer, it doesn't mean you have to, right? It doesn't mean I'm telling everyone, hey, hold everything, don't sell, this stuff's going to the moon. I personally think we haven't seen the highs yet, right? But I could be wrong, and it's always good to take money off the table and lock in gains, so that way when those downturns do come, well, at least your cost basis is lower and you're not going to lose out. So just be careful. I'm not here to get a big head and say that everything I say is going to be right and everything's going to go up forever, right? I would love for Timmy's to try the debate with Rudy. Dude, I would love to see Rudy come on someone's live stream one day. Wouldn't that be awesome? God, I'd love to see that. Have you seen the videos floating around where people crack new PSA slabs and the card is in another sealed plastic container? So odd. No, I haven't. Oh yeah, no, I have. It's like, it's like something new they're doing now? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Is it supposed to make it harder to like actually get your card out of that second container to actually resend it? Is that what PSA is going for? Yeah, I actually have seen one of those. I haven't seen a lot of it, but yeah, I was a little confused about that. Oh man. There's another grading company. Yeah, CC&G. They sell their own slabs and they grade, and they are 3-cent cards in $1 to $2. Yeah, there's all kind of crazy stuff. James, what's up, man? Thanks for making it. Celebi should be in Chilling Rain. Celebi V should be in Chilling Rain. Oh yeah, it's Infusion. Yeah, there is weird stuff going on with the sets. I agree. Let's see. Do some of the grading card companies slab cards with a penny sleeve or a top loader still on them before they case them? Yeah, absolutely. I think Beckett does that, right? Yeah, absolutely. Not everyone does the raw card in the slab like PSA does. Agreed. Lots of dogpiling for people that do nothing. It's mostly just name calling and vulgar instead of coming with unbiased perspective. It's YouTube though. Like, here's the thing, and this is why it's hard to criticize people, like especially when I'm smaller than someone. Because if I criticize what someone else is doing and they're bigger than me, they get more views. People will say, "Well, you're just hating because you're not that big and you don't have as many subscribers and you don't get as many views." And it's like, well, I can't have an opinion just because I'm not as big, so I can only hate on people or critique people that are smaller than me. Is that how this works? And it's just like the thing with YouTube is look, it's kind of, if you've ever seen a Mr. Beast interview, he said before, I could start a new YouTube channel and I could get just as big, or not just as big, but I could get millions of views or whatever. I could become one of the top people in no time because of everything he knows about YouTube. The same thing goes for this, guys. If I wanted to, and other YouTubers know this, other YouTubers in the chat, if I wanted to, I know exactly what to put in my titles and my thumbnails and talk about in my videos to get the views, to create the controversies, to get all the comments and get all the exposure and the back and forth. I know how to drive engagement, right? If I want to do that, I can every video. But I don't think that's necessarily good to grow a channel. I don't think it's necessarily good for the audience. And I don't need to get there overnight. I don't need to be the biggest with the most views and most subscribers overnight. I want to build my channel with legitimate arguments and facts and data and being helpful to the community that follows me. And so, yeah, I mean, I get why people do the things the way they do. I understand the coming on the content and being vulgar and calling people out and being controversial. It gets views. People like that, right? Here's the thing. Why do you think that you can see, Harvard business classes free on YouTube and they get very little views? Or you can see some of the smartest people having podcasts and talking and they get less views, but Desperate Housewives or, The Bachelor or, Big Brother gets all the views on TV. People like to tune into nonsense. That's why channels like that will be better. They will get bigger. They will be more successful. People like nonsense over actual facts, real legitimate financial discussions, things like that. It's just the way our world is. It's America. You just got to deal with it. And when you understand this, like I do, it doesn't get to you. You don't worry about that someone's growing faster or they're bigger than you. It doesn't bother you because you understand how the system works. I get it. I could be one of those channels if I want to. I don't want to. Now, maybe I'll make a secondary channel and I'll do like a conspiracy channel and I'll be that kind of content. And I can try to grow that, but it's just not what I'm trying to do. It's not my prerogative here on this channel. What do you think about mass grading popular trainer gallery cards? Saw Evolutions do like 50 to 60 in a PSA 10 for $2 to $3 a card. Might be hard buying. Oh, it's so funny you say that. I just got some orders back today. These are filled with trainer galleries. Lost Origin trainer gallery, Brilliant Stars trainer gallery, Astral Radiance trainer. I mean, all the trainer galleries of the Pikachus and the Gengars, Charizards, Evolutions, all that good stuff, right? I just did that. I mass bought on TCG Player and eBay. Anyone who had large quantities available, I mass bought them. I pre-graded them. I sent in the ones that were gradable. I flipped the ones back in the market that weren't. And yeah, I think it's definitely a thing. I certainly am making those plays. Absolutely. Alex, come on. You can't be saying it's okay to be buying products 6 weeks early. There's no way to have product that early without theft, even if Nick isn't perfect. I don't know. I don't know how early people get things. I mean, look, you're going to see me open Twilight Masquerade as a pre-release, right, to stay in compliance with Pokemon. I'm going to pre-release open it on Monday, the Monday before the release, right? So, and I'm going to get it completely legitimate from an actual legitimate card shop. Like I'm 100% in the right here. I just can't actually ship it until Friday. So I'm going to open pack Slab on screen for pack rips if anyone wants to get in. And I won't ship it till Friday. You're going to be buying it technically as a pre-release. I mean, if I can get it that early, I don't know how early distributors get it, right? Because think about this. If card shops can get the product, 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks early, how early do distributors get it from Pokemon? So if that distributor might distribute it or someone they know, I don't know, right? Maybe someone's friends with the distributor. I'm not going to talk about things I don't know about, but it doesn't seem impossible to me. The supply chain is slow, right? And so, you think Pokemon like starts shipping product out like the week before release and like it's to the distributor back to the stores and everything's like a big madness? No, they probably already have. They definitely already have Twilight Masquerade, 100%. To be honest, Battle Styles and Silver Tempest are themes to go for. If anyone's wanting to set a few boxes aside and don't want to spend $200 a box, I give it a few weeks. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I know it's the whole timing the market versus time in the market. There is such a thing as timing this market, especially you could have done it with Brilliant Stars and Lost Origin. Everyone was screaming at people to do it. Some did, some didn't. It was very easy play. The same thing goes for Battle Styles and Silver Tempest. It's a timing the market play, guys. Once they end up rising in price and they sell out on Pokemon Center, you better believe it. They're going to go up in price the way the other sets did. And so, yeah, they're great. They're great plays right now. It is what it is. Alex, remember Alex? Also remember, Alex, that Pat Flynn called stolen product buyers out for buying the stolen product too. So it wasn't just a possum and rattle. I mean, that's fine, guys. I don't stay up in all this. Like I told you, I'm subscribed to almost zero Pokemon creators at this point. I stay out of the nonsense anymore. I don't care, right? I have my own opinions, my own takes. I do my own research. I don't pay attention to what he said, she said. All I know is I get sent stuff all the time. People always like to tag me. They send me links to videos with timestamps, and yeah, of course I click on them and I see what people say. So yeah, I didn't see Pat Flynn's, but I see other people's. It is what it is, right? I try to stay out of it, but you can't stay out of everything. I definitely see things from time to time. Adam, I have a no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match this Saturday. I got a brand new Charizard rash card. It's going to break it out. That's awesome. Can't wait to choke a foo while flexing the Charizard, boy. So, guys, if you don't, there's a UFC fight night this week in St. Louis. I was actually up this weekend training with a couple of the guys in the fight. What am I talking about? So, I'm gonna see if I have a picture of it. I think it's on my dad's phone because my dad's one of the trainers. He trains them. But let me see if I can find it. If it's so, I'll throw it up real quick. Okay, I don't have it. Dang it. But if you guys don't know Joaquin Buckley, he's actually a really good up and comer. And then also Charles Johnson. So Charles Johnson's actually staying with my dad while he's in town. Because I just don't have the room here at our house. We don't have like an extra spare room. But yeah, man. So I was up there sparring with UFC fighters. So hey, man, I'm keeping the hands up. I'm keeping pace. Obviously, I'm not at that level anymore. But it's good to get in there and spar with the guys. But yeah, man, I love it. Love the no-gi grappling tournament. MMA fan, as I'm talking about MMA, Alex, you're the GOAT. I'm always about modern sealed investments now because of you. My bankroll is booming, baby. That's what we like to hear. Love it. Love it. Based on your experience in the hobby, do you think more people are taking good profits sooner than later? Man, I think a lot of people, I think it depends on what you're doing, right? I think sealed investors, I think they definitely take it later. They hold a lot longer. I think a lot of people making plays on slabs, they're definitely in and out a lot more. And I think what it is, it's not really people taking the money out of the hobby. A lot of people they just move the money around. Like they sold XY or tag team or waifu slabs in the last year, and they moved that money to alt arts or Scarlet Violet or booster boxes in Sword and Shield. And so I think it's more the money is sloshing around the hobby than actually pulling it out. But that's what I would say, man. I would say, taking profits or realizing their gains, I would say is more likely done early on slabs and singles, and more likely done in a longer term on sealed product, in my opinion. Everyone's different, though. You know that. We're talking in generalities here, obviously. Alex, WTF, there's not a copy of Flareon V PSA 10 on eBay. Dude, I told you. I should have bought it. I should have bought one. It got away from me. Now I'm going to have to try to grade one myself. They're going for like $400. I might be able to make a trade with someone. I don't know. It's crazy. It's the one evolution I don't have. It sucks. I really wanted all of them. I do have the evolution boxes. So I could start ripping some boxes and trying to grade it myself. But it's so hard to grade that card. I'd probably end up with a bunch of 9s and 8s, and I wouldn't have the sealed boxes anymore, and I'd be in the same position I am now, worse position. So I'm in a bad position, guys. You know, I don't like, even though it's for my collection, obviously, I still don't like overpaying that much for cards, which I feel, again, I don't know if it's really overpaying. Maybe it's properly valued now. It's hard. It's hard. It is hard. Hate, negativity, and drama gets clicks. I mean, guys, you saw the video, right? You know, new Pokemon investing scam coming soon. Beware. I got the, the hooded figure and the downward chart. Look, I play the game too. I'm not going to act like I don't play the game. But I try to keep it on topic. I try not to go after people personally. And I try to like back it up with facts and historical data. Yeah, I mean, it just, unfortunately, that's the game we're in. That's YouTube. I hate to say it, What do you want to see someone's personal? Why do you want to see someone's personal YouTube revenue? This is not directed at me. Oh, right here. Rage baiting for YouTube clicks. Still don't know why he still hasn't posted his YouTube revenue. I don't know who we're talking about, but I mean, guys, YouTube doesn't pay that much. I'll tell you that right now. Like, it's not crazy. But this is a big but. I like those. Those types of channels will never get brand deals and see true success. Man, who knows? Glad to hear you want to grow your channel with quality and integrity, Alex. The clickbait channels are too gimmicky and lack sincerity. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we've been going about an hour. I wanted to keep it a little shorter today because I am going to be on that live stream tonight. It's going to be OKJ Love's channel tonight. 7 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be me, Pokey Office, Opossum Bud, OKJ Love. God, I'm really sorry, man. I forgot the other guy. Here, let me go look it up. I don't want to do that to him. I feel bad not saying his name. Let me look it up. Who else is going to be on there? It's going to be oh, come on. I thought the thumbnail had everyone's name tagged. It is Rob Does Pokemon. Oh, and TCG Buyers Club is going to be on there as well. So, yeah, I mean, it should be a fun time, fun discussion. We'll see how bad me and Opossum Bud butt heads. I'm sure that's gonna be fun. Because I don't think he backs down. I don't back down, so that'll be a good discussion, I'm sure. But it's gonna be a fun time. Yeah, guys, just kind of conclude the stream. Just be careful out there, right? When you start seeing, which I assume is coming, the big tag grading videos pumping and you start seeing huge sales on eBay, question them, question the creators or the people in Discords or online forums that are really talking, that you feel are talking overly positive of tag. Always ask them, what's your total exposure to tag? How many slabs and how much money do you have in graded slabs? And also, are you selling them? And that will usually give you a pretty good idea of their motives. And, always tread with caution when we're talking about the singles market. It can move on a dime. So that's pretty much all I got today, guys. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their Monday. Hope I see you guys on that live stream tonight. Dr. Apple says I'll be there with popcorn watching. Chat who hate me and simp for everyone else. Hey, man, I don't know. I think I might be hated more than anyone else in this community. So, hey, at least I'll be the one getting hated on most because I'll be on screen. So you'll be able to have a good time. But that's all I got today, guys. Thanks for showing up for the live stream. And be back here in a new one soon. I'm out.